Think about that black mirror hanging on your living room wall right now. You probably spent hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on it, thinking you were buying a top-tier piece of entertainment technology. But what if I told you that your smart TV isn't just a screen? It is actually a sophisticated, highly efficient surveillance device that is monitoring your every move, listening to your most private conversations, and taking literal snapshots of what is appearing on your screen every second of the day. While you are sitting there in your pajamas watching a movie, your TV is working overtime to build a psychological profile of you that it then sells to the highest bidder on the data market. It knows when you are home, what sports teams you hate, your political leanings, and even the shows you are embarrassed to admit you watch. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a multi-billion-dollar business model known as ACR, or Automatic Content Recognition, and it is happening in almost every modern home. Today we are going to dive deep into the silicon brain of your television to uncover the hidden trackers and invasive features that are stealing your privacy. I am going to show you exactly how to disable the 6 most dangerous settings that are active on your TV right now. Regardless of whether you own a Samsung, LG, Sony, or any other major brand, if you value your privacy and don't want your living room turned into an open book for advertisers, you need to pay very close attention to what follows. Let's start with the most invasive one of them all, automatic content recognition. This is the holy grail for advertisers. ACR is a technology built into the chipset of nearly every smart TV sold in the last decade. Its entire job is to identify everything that passes through your screen. It doesn't matter if you are watching cable, a DVD, playing a video game, or streaming on Netflix. ACR takes digital fingerprints of the images and audio on your screen and sends that data back to the manufacturer's servers. They then compare these fingerprints against a massive database to know exactly what you are viewing in real time. Why do they do this? Because knowing your viewing habits allows them to target you with hyper-specific ads on your other devices. Have you ever wondered why, after watching a documentary about hiking on your TV, you suddenly start seeing ads for hiking boots on your smartphone? That isn't a coincidence. It is your TV talking to your phone through the data profiles these companies share. By disabling ACR, you are cutting the primary cord that allows your TV to spy on your visual habits. But it gets even creepier when we talk about the microphone. Most modern smart TVs come with voice control features. You can tell your TV to find a movie or check the weather. However, to do this, the TV has to be listening for a wake word. This means the microphone is technically always on, waiting for its command. The problem is that these microphones often trigger accidentally, recording snippets of private conversations that occur in your living room. These recordings are often sent to the cloud to be analyzed by artificial intelligence to improve the voice recognition system. In some cases, third-party contractors have been caught listening to these recordings to help train the software. Imagine a stranger in a different country listening to you argue with your spouse or discuss a sensitive medical issue just because your TV thought it heard a command. The voice recognition setting is a massive privacy hole that you need to plug immediately. Unless you absolutely rely on voice commands, the physical or software-based disabling of the microphone is a mandatory step for anyone concerned with digital safety. Now let's talk about the third setting, which is personalized advertising and interest-based tracking. When you first set up your TV, you probably clicked through a dozen screens of terms and conditions just so you could get to the home screen. Among those pages of legalese was likely a box you checked that gave the manufacturer permission to track your behavior across different apps. This setting allows the TV to link your identity to a unique advertising ID. This ID follows you around the internet. It connects what you do on your TV to what you do on your laptop and your mobile device. Advertisers love this because it gives them a 360-degree view of your consumer persona. They aren't just selling you a TV. They are selling the ability to manipulate your purchasing decisions for years to come. By digging into the privacy settings and turning off personalized ads, you are essentially telling the TV that you are a person, not a data point to be auctioned off to marketing firms. The fourth setting involves the collection of usage data and diagnostics. Manufacturers claim they collect this data to improve their products and fix bugs. While that might be true to an extent, the amount of data they collect is often way beyond what is necessary for technical maintenance. They track how many times you open an app, how long you stay in a menu, and even how fast you scroll through options. This behavioral data is incredibly valuable because it reveals your technical proficiency and your habits. If a company knows you are a power user, they might target you with more expensive subscription offers. If they know you are struggling with the interface, They might push simplified, data-heavy services on you. This diagnostic data is a goldmine for psychological profiling. Disabling the option to send diagnostic or usage reports to the manufacturer is a simple way to limit the amount of metadata you are leaking into the world. Our fifth target is the built-in camera. If your TV is one of those models that includes one for video calls or gesture control. While less common on newer models, there are still millions of TVs out there with integrated cameras. These are the ultimate security risks. If a hacker gains access to your home network, your TV camera becomes a window into your home that can be accessed remotely. Unlike a laptop where you might have a physical shutter, many TV cameras are flush with the bezel and difficult to block with a simple sticker. But even if you aren't worried about hackers, the manufacturer themselves may use the camera for face recognition to tailor content to specific family members. This means your TV is literally watching who is sitting on the couch. This level of intimacy between a consumer product and your private life is unprecedented and, quite frankly, unnecessary. If your TV has a camera, you should disable any face tracking or gesture features in the software, and if possible, use a piece of black electrical tape to physically cover the lens. Finally, we have to look at the network and connectivity settings, specifically features like Samba TV or other third-party data sharing agreements. Many TVs come preloaded with software from companies you have never heard of. Samba TV, for example, is a third-party service that partners with manufacturers to provide an additional layer of tracking and content recommendations. These services often operate silently in the background, collecting data even when you aren't actively using the TV. They can even detect other smart devices on your network, like your smart fridge or your smart lights, to understand the full layout of your home ecosystem. By auditing your TV's list of installed apps and background services, you can find and disable these third-party leeches that are piggybacking on your internet connection to steal your information. Now that we have identified the 6 main culprits, you are probably wondering how to actually find these settings. The problem is that TV manufacturers are notorious for hiding these options deep within submenus, with confusing names. For example, on an LG TV, ACR might be labeled as Live Plus. On a Samsung TV, you might find it under Terms and Policy in a section called View Information Services. Sony TVs, which often run on Google TV or Android TV, have their privacy settings buried under the Google account settings. The industry uses what are called dark patterns, which are user interface designs intended to make it as difficult as possible for you to opt out of data collection. They want you to give up out of frustration, but you cannot let them win. You need to go into the settings menu. Look for terms like privacy, terms of use, support, or expert settings, and read every single toggle. If it says anything about improving your experience, providing recommendations, or sharing data for marketing, turn it off. The implications of this surveillance are much larger than just annoying ads. We are moving into an era where data can determine your insurance premiums, your credit score, and even your employment opportunities. If a data broker has a profile of you that suggests you spend 6 hours a day watching reality TV and eating junk food based on your viewing and purchasing habits, an health insurance company might see you as a higher risk. This sounds like science fiction, but the infrastructure for this kind of data sharing is being built right now through the very screen you use to relax after work. Your smart TV is the weakest link in your home's digital security. While we put firewalls on our computers and Face ID on our phones, we often leave our TVs completely open, connected to our Wi-Fi with default settings that favor the corporation over the consumer. One of the most effective ways to stop the spying, if you are willing to take a slightly more tech-savvy route, is to disconnect the TV from the internet entirely. You might think, then how do I stream my shows? The answer is to use an external streaming device like an Apple TV, a Roku, or a dedicated home theater PC. While these devices have their own privacy issues, they are often much more transparent and have better privacy controls than the built-in software of a TV manufacturer. By using the TV as a dumb monitor and letting an external box handle the smart features, you bypass the TV's internal tracking mechanisms. It is a bit of an extra cost, but the peace of mind knowing that your TV isn't calling home every 5 minutes is worth it. If you decide to keep your TV connected, you should also look into setting up a DNS level blocker on your home router. Services like Pi-hole or NextDNS can be configured to block the specific domains that TVs use to send data back to companies like Samsung, LG, or Vizio. When the TV tries to upload your viewing fingerprints, the request is blocked at the router level, and the data goes nowhere. This is the ultimate way to take control, because it doesn't rely on the TV's software settings, which can sometimes be reset after a firmware update. Manufacturers have been known to sneakily re-enable tracking features during system updates, claiming that the new terms of service require a fresh consent. By blocking them at the network level, you stay in charge regardless of what the TV tries to do. We also have to consider the environmental and psychological impact of this constant connectivity. Smart TVs are designed to be always on, even when the screen is dark. They are constantly pinging servers, downloading updates, and scanning for new data. This wastes energy and keeps you tethered to a digital umbilical cord that never lets you truly disconnect. There is something to be said for the simplicity of the old days when a TV was just a receiver of signals, not a sender of your personal life. By disabling these 6 settings, you are taking a step toward reclaiming your home as a sanctuary. Your living room should be a place where you can relax without feeling like you are being studied under a microscope. The manufacturers will argue that these features are necessary for the modern television experience. They say that without data collection, they couldn't offer you a personalized home screen or suggest new shows you might like. But let's be honest, how often are those recommendations actually good? Most of the time, they are just pushing whatever content they have a financial incentive to promote. You are perfectly capable of finding a movie on your own without a billion-dollar AI analyzing your habits to suggest one. The trade-off of your total privacy for a slightly more convenient menu is a terrible deal, and it's one we should all stop accepting. Furthermore, we need to talk about the security of the apps themselves. Smart TVs often run outdated versions of apps like Netflix, YouTube, or Hulu. Because TV manufacturers aren't software companies, they are often slow to push security patches. This makes your TV a prime target for botnets. Hackers can take over thousands of smart TVs and use their combined processing power to launch attacks on other websites. If your TV is spying on you for the manufacturer, it is likely also vulnerable to being used by third-party bad actors. Limiting the TV's connectivity and disabling unnecessary features reduces the attack surface of your home network. Another hidden danger is the way smart TVs handle your Wi-Fi credentials. Some TVs, during the setup process, will ask to share your Wi-Fi password with other devices from the same manufacturer to make setup easier. This sounds convenient, but it means your sensitive network password is being stored in a way that might not be fully secure. Once you have your TV connected, you should ensure that all sharing features are turned off. Your Wi-Fi password should stay only on the devices that absolutely need it, and it certainly shouldn't be shared across a manufacturer's cloud network. It's also worth noting the specific case of Vizio, a company that was actually fined millions of dollars by the FTC for tracking users without their consent. They were the pioneers of the ACR business model, and their case proved that these companies cannot be trusted to act in the best interest of the consumer. Even after being caught and fined, the industry as a whole didn't stop the practice. They just got better at hiding it behind complex menus and mandatory terms of service. This is why you must be proactive. You cannot wait for a government agency to protect you. You have to take the 5 minutes to go through your settings and shut these doors yourself. For those of you with families, think about the data being collected on your children. Kids don't understand the concept of data privacy. They talk to the voice assistant as if it's a friend. They watch the same cartoons over and over, which creates a highly predictable data set for advertisers. Companies are building profiles on children before they are even old enough to have their own smartphones. By hardening the privacy settings on your family TV, you are protecting your children's future digital footprint. They deserve to grow up without every show they watched as a toddler being recorded in a permanent corporate database. The rise of smart TVs has also led to the decline of physical media and local control. Because everything is now cloud-based, the manufacturers have a kill switch over your device. If they decide to stop supporting a specific model, they can simply pull the apps, and your expensive TV becomes a brick. This happened with many older smart TVs that can no longer run YouTube or Netflix. By disabling the spying features and potentially using an external device, you are also making your TV more future-proof. You aren't reliant on the manufacturer's shitty software to keep your screen functional. As we move forward into 2026 and beyond, the level of integration between our devices will only increase. We will see TVs that use infrared sensors to track your heart rate or eye tracking to see which parts of an advertisement you are looking at. This sounds like an exaggeration, but patents for these very technologies have already been filed by major tech companies. The battle for the living room is just beginning. If we don't draw a line in the sand now by disabling these basic tracking settings, we will find ourselves living in a world where our own furniture is working against us. To wrap this up, remember that you are the owner of your hardware. You paid for the TV, you pay for the electricity, and you pay for the internet connection. The manufacturer has no right to use your resources to spy on you for their own profit. Taking back control is not just about privacy, it's about ownership. It's about reminding these companies that they work for us, not the other way around. Go to your TV right now, open that settings menu, find ACR, the microphone settings, the personalized ads, the diagnostic reports, the camera features, and the third-party sharing apps. Flip those switches to off. It will take you less than 10 minutes, but it will save you years of being tracked. Your home should be the one place where you can be completely yourself, without judgment and without surveillance. Don't let your smart TV take that away from you. The technology is amazing, and the picture quality is better than ever, but the hidden cost is too high. Enjoy your favorite shows, play your games, and watch your movies, but do it on your own terms. By disabling these 6 settings, you are sending a clear message that your life is not for sale. Stay safe, stay private, and keep your smart devices from being smarter than you when it comes to your personal information. The power to stop the spying is literally in your hands. Use that remote for more than just changing the channel. Use it to lock the door to your digital life. Your TV is a tool for entertainment. Let's keep it that way and stop it from being a tool for surveillance. Make the changes today and tell your friends and family to do the same. The more people who opt out, the more pressure we put on the industry to change their ways. It starts with you, in your living room, right now. Don't let another minute go by with those sensors wide open. Shut them down and take back your privacy.